everyone, it's Michelle with vinvonaly.com coming to you with another devotional entry from the Purpose devotional, which was included in the April subscription box. So the section that I've been working on is the Processed for Purpose section, and it's week 6. So because I had to do some catching up, I have, I'm uploading this one today. This was for last week, so I should be caught up. So every week I will be presenting the week before. So next week I will be uploading week number 7. Hope that makes sense. But in any event, this is where I'm caught up to. It's week 6, and I just love the scriptures. I have to say that God came up with everything in putting this devotion together. Yes, I wrote it. I co-authored it with my friend Audrey, but at the same time, everything that we did, we were led by God in doing it, and it's just awesome to see how all of the scriptures just lined up with each other. So I'm going to go ahead, because you can see what's going on the screen, what I'm doing with my page. I'm going to go ahead and read the devotional entry for week 6 and then talk a bit about it. And it says, it starts off with a verse, and it says, "In the beginning, I told you what would happen in the end. A long time ago, I told you things that have not happened yet. When I plan something, it happens. I do whatever I want to do." That's in Isaiah 46:10. And that was God's word. He knows the beginning from the end. So let's read the devotional content. It says, "Have you gone through things that have made no sense to you, but you had to go through them?" I can attest. Yes, I have. "Have you asked the question, why me? Well, you're not alone in this, because we have all been there at one time or another. Even Hosea had to go through a process that didn't make sense to him at all. God required his prophet Hosea to marry a prostitute, and he did so in obedience. While it didn't make sense to Hosea and all the people who ridiculed him, God had a purpose and a plan in this marriage." So you can read more about Hosea's story in Hosea chapters 1 and 2. The content closes out by saying, "Many times we are called to do things that don't make sense to us at the time, but our obedience is required because God sees a bigger picture than what we can see or imagine. While we have only one piece of the puzzle, God designed the puzzle and knows what the picture will look like when it is completed." That is so true. So let's just talk about Hosea. Hosea was required to marry a prostitute, and how hard and difficult that must have been for him. Standing in the position of a prophet, proclaiming God's word, but having to marry a prostitute. The people probably ridiculed him. You could imagine the things that he had to endure. And you're probably saying to, well, God, I can only imagine how am I supposed to declare your word, and I'm here marrying a prostitute, a woman who is running off, and a woman who gives herself to other men. How can I declare your word? But we don't realize that God, as it says here, has a bigger picture than what we can see. The reason that God had Hosea to marry a prostitute, because he was using Hosea as a symbol of how the relationship was between God and his people. The people of God were prostituting themselves to other gods, and that's what God was trying to get across to them. They were prostituting themselves to other gods. They were engaged in idolatry. They were worshiping false gods. They had statues. They had idols in their home. And even for us today, we may not worship false gods. We may not have idols that we bow down to. But anything that you put before God, anything that you put above God, that is an idol. Whether it's an addiction, whether it's addiction, a habit, it's your job, whether it's your children, whatever it is, it becomes an idol. And God does not share space with idols. He says either you're hot or you're cold. You choose. If God be God, then serve him. Choose you this day whom you will serve. And that's the point that God was trying to get across to the people. So even though it didn't make much sense what Hosea was doing, it was a symbolism. And that's it, you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Please hit that like button. Also subscribe. If you're new to the channel, also hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for the support. Also comment below. Let me know what you think of the story Hosea. I'll chat with you all later. Be blessed.